spine crawlers, which would have helped so much in that he didn't have that many roaches, and he just kept trickling in like 4 roaches here, 6 roaches there, 3 roaches there, and it's like you needed 30 roaches to stop that, and he just didn't have it. And in those force fields, he'd losing those 7 roaches at the beginning of that first attack.
Ooh, terrible, terrible.
Was just kind of put him back, and he was not able to recover. And the last thing you want to do is trying to recover during an attack. It's not going to happen. But that was super aggressive Protoss play, and that's what he needed to do. That's what was required for the Protoss to win that second game. So we're going to go to game number 3 on the largest map and the most hated map ever.
The most hated map ever? I don't know, man. I feel like you're a little bit biased, but maybe we'll still be okay with you. Like, I'll invite you back next time. Not sure. We'll see. Iron Fortress. Yes, it is very hard. It's very racist to everyone non-Zerg. I just got to throw that out. You need a little, like, extension mod to be like, you know what, Protoss symbol in the middle or Terran. But I just wanted to point out one thing about last game before we start talking about Iron Fortress, and just to kind of reinforce what you mentioned is that he had 1-by-1 roaches coming in. They were going into a meat grinder, and those are the situations where you're worried, you're trying to throw units at the enemy, and you just can't quite think. And really what you need to be doing as any player in that situation is wait, be patient. Accumulate some units on both sides, and what's beautiful about having a third base is you can do a flank, especially when the sentries are dead. So you just got to be calm, patient, and get a decent amount of roaches up. But then again, it's pretty darn hard, Draven, when you're like, oh no, I can't lose this game, gotta stay in. We'll see though, because he could lose that game. It's 1-1, and this is the beginning of a 4-man group, so there's a lot of wiggle room, and you don't need to be too darn down about yourself if that is a situation and you lose this.
Yeah, and like you mentioned before, again, like I said earlier, just he probably could have had it if A, he didn't lose his roaches at the beginning of the fight, B, he attacked all at once. I mean, he had the burrow play, which was great, but he wasn't microing down as much as he wanted to. It's various reasons why, but it's we're going to be jumping into game number 3 for Iron Fortress. It is a very huge map. Personally, I think it's Protoss' favorite. That's my personal thought and opinion on it. However, you may disagree, agree, or whatever. So let's get our player introductions in. Spawning in our bottom right is our Blue Zerg player, fighting for the win, fighting for the series. It is Namshar.
I love that. And his opponent in the bottom left-hand corner, the teal Protoss player from MCon Esports. It is Marsman. Put your hands together. Woo! Woo! I need to get to, I guess I need to get 2 water bottles too, so you have the echo kind of going, where it really starts to accumulate into a crowd. And you're like, wow, there's a whole studio in Drennoc's bedroom. Yes, there is, guys. Yes, there is.
That'd be so awkwardly great, though.
It would be so awkward. Like, realistically, my desk in this setup is like half my room because I'm really committed to StarCraft. You guys don't even understand. But you know what? What you should understand is it is currently 1-1, and whoever wins this will move on to the kind of winners match. At least you'll move on to the round of 16. Currently, round of 32, Group F. We'll see. Marsman. I loved the aggressive play, and he totally just read Namshar like a book and said, you know what? I got this. Let's do what I hate to do and what you hate me doing. As I mentioned in game 2, that is the sweet spot of Protoss. Like, the Protoss players don't even like it themselves. They they're like, oh, I'm just dirty. No.
I don't know if they feel dirty. Maybe if they cannon rush, they might feel dirty, but it was an aggressive play.
I don't feel dirty with a cannon rush. It feels so good with the cannon rush.
it was a great play, and it was a great read. Like, he definitely needed to be aggressive. He knew that Namshar wasn't aggressive the first game. So he's like, if I could get to him 4 minutes sooner than he would attack, like, this is exactly what he did, and Namshar was just completely not ready. So we do see both players scouting the opposite direction. We do see that they're spawning on the bottom for both players. Namshar went north first, Marsman went north first. So now they're going to see exactly where it is. Unfortunately, Namshar is not going to really know if Marsman's on the bottom left or the top left. However, Marsman will know that his opponent is on the bottom right. So that might come into play, might not. It's kind of nice to know before your opponent knows.
It is definitely nice to know, especially when you're a Zerg player that does commit a tiny bit, not a lot, but to that pool first. You want the opportunity to at least get a kill here or there, or just put some pressure on. For now, though, Namshar, he will not be drone scout, nothing of the sort, just sending his overlord over and getting up his pretty normal base, while Marsman, over here on the left-hand side, I'm curious what he's going to do in this game. He's opening up like he did last game. He did at least not do the super greedy Nexus first, but I mean, if he does it again, it looked really, really strong in game 2. Now, whether that was Namshar's responsibility to scout more, not over drone, is up to kind of argue about, but still, he looked so strong.
Yeah, well, it's one of those like, well, if it's not broken, why am I going? Why am I going to change it? Like, Namshar's not doing anything different. It's not like he is going super defensive, right? It's almost virtually the same build. So if Marsman decides to go with this early aggressive play like before, he might take the victory yet again if Namshar doesn't either A, see it, or B, have good defenses set up.
Definitely, it's going to really come down and be in Marsman's hands. In this game, Namshar only went with 2 early lings, not the 4 previous times. You know what, I don't know where you are, I'm not going to be able to do damage. Let's just get a drone and know what you're doing. Again, though, he's not gone for metabolic boost, which kind of leads me to think that there's so many little things Marsman could exploit. He will be going Stargate, but he could have gone proxy earlier on, something of the sort. Even though Namshar is being careful, diligent in scouting, still, without that metabolic boost, it's kind of hard to defend those early proxies.
Yeah, and again, on a huge map like this, I don't know why you wouldn't want to have speed links. It just helps control your opponent's third base. It helps for scouting, defensive. I mean, it's such a great ability to have. Like, you should almost always get it regardless of the map, in my personal opinion of it. But so him not even having gas on it, it's like he's going to lose this. An Oracle's coming, and he has 0 spore callers at all, and so he's going to get a great number of drone kills off this. And I don't know what Namshar's going to be able to do from this. I don't even think he's going to scout it in time.
Namshar will have an Overlord kind of ready to see it, but only off the left-hand side of his main base. We'll see. There's the Oracle coming out now.
And it's going to fly right into the Overlord.
Very depressing. We'll do that. And by the way, just in the main base of Marsman, I mean, he's got a Stalker. He's got everything ready to deny Overlords trying to get into his base. It's a little bit of a sad thing to happen, yet it still can get damage done. Namshar, there's no spores going down. There's relatively nothing. A little bit worried. Marsman tries to be clever, and sadly he didn't need to. Main base, no spore.
So he's got 3 kills. I'm predicting he's going to get at least 6-7 kills off this Oracle. He gets 6 kills, which is just phenomenal. He's going to get the 7th kill. He's turned into a spore call real quick, which is great. But 7 kills, I mean, that's ridiculous. That's what he wanted to do the first game when he went spore callers. That's Oracle. So that kind of Oracle play is what you want to do a couple times throughout the game, and it gets super annoying. We do see a Void Raid, which is going to be awesome to pick out Overlords in the area, and we see more gateways going down. So I think we're going to see a gateway push with a couple Void Rays, and Namshar does not have anything to stop this at all.
Although with Namshar's +1, I believe it was +1 range attack and roach speed, because of the Stargate opening, it may buy him just enough time to be able to push out a lot of roaches to defend the gates. But then again, as you mentioned, there are Void Rays. Not only can they kill single Overlords in the area, but they can, I mean, they're good at killing roaches. And the entire time you're talking about getting Overlords in the area, I was just like thinking of an Overlord Void Ray dating site. That's what's going through my head of like, yeah, the Void Ray can find single Overlords in the area, get to know them, and then just execute them. It's a little bit like serial killer, but we'll see. Namshar, upgrades are on the way, but they're not going to be done for another minute and a half, and he's got nothing to delay. 2 Void Rays, it's like if you have 1, maybe my queens can deal with it, but 2 with only roaches and 7 at that, man, I'm getting a little worried. Actually, more than 7, but not too many.
Marsman doesn't see this coming, and he's not going to be able to do anything about it. I mean, that spore call is going to go down. He sees 2 voids, a mothership core. He has queens coming down, and Oracle.
Oh, the revelations!
Perfect vision on that. So I mean, it's going to be super impossible for him to do anything. He doesn't even have. He's not even putting down a Hydralisk Den. He's getting more queens, which is kind of what he needs. But this push is going to be super aggressive, super dirty again.
We'll see. Currently, actually, Namshar does have a slight lead army-wise, but he's not being able to get into a good position. A lot of roaches were kind of force-fielded out and on the right-hand side, and actually force-fielded into the main, but still there's a nice little flank by Namshar going down. But man, the Void Rays are so strong, they got to be careful though. The spore, there it is, gone, and now there's only 2 queens to detest them. And the beautiful thing about this, since the queens are detesting that Void Ray, the mothership core has free time to teleport home. Actually though, it used it on a time warp, sadly enough.
Yeah, but it's that much, of course, not going to get a drop anytime soon. He's going to get enough energy to recall out if they need to. For whatever reason, this fight doesn't look like it's going his way. Most of course, getting focused down a little bit by this Queens. I think the most of is going to drop. It does go drop, but there's 3 voids in this army that's completely ignoring the Queens, which is unfortunate. I think
it's a full surround. Namshar's actually going to come back from this.
Yeah, he's definitely those voids should have focused down the Queens, in my personal opinion. Stop the Mothership Core from dropping because he should have been able to recall out of this. And now Namshar's in a very dominant position, and he's got a huge, semi-huge arm on this, and Marsman is going on 2 bases from this.
Although Namshar did lose 20-odd workers in that fight, and he is now even with his opponent. Not income, but production. Sorry, income-wise, not production, though. Namshar still is on the 3rd base, but man, Marsman, he's aggressive, and honestly, I'd say he's maybe a little bit too aggressive, but it seemed to be working with him. He does not want to get surrounded again like he did, though. Off the back of this, there's not a best 3rd base possibility for Marsman. There is creep at his 3rd base, and we'll see what he decided to transition with, making more stalkers, and this is kind of the period where it starts to get a little bit, oh crap, I need sentries, I need more of that gas, but you just don't quite have it with going mass blink stalkers. He needs sentries to be able to deal with the mass roaches now.
Yeah, it's like, we said before, he's just banking on these roaches, and then so, which is great against stalkers, but I think he's, hoping that, okay, so I just eliminated your voids, took out all your sentries, like, you don't have that much gas. Here on 2 bases, you cannot have enough gas to get a Sky Toss army that most Zergs are afraid of, so he doesn't really need to get Hydralisk because he's not afraid of the air army. He just wants to defend against the stalkers. So we do see a huge roach arm coming in. There's no force.
Oh, GG!
Yeah, he was kind of behind. He kind of knew there was nothing's going to be able to do. He was on 3 bases. Didn't get the damage he wanted done originally, which is unfortunate. But man, I'm surprised that one push was just. I thought Marsman was going to take it with that push with his Void Rays, and he just carelessly ignored those Queens, and those Queens took out every single Void Ray plus the Mothership Core, which I didn't think 3 Queens was going to be able to.
I feel like the biggest thing right there for Marsman losing it is, at first you're like, cool, great, he's got Void Rays, he has what he needs to kind of counter his opponent's composition, but each Void Ray, 150 gas with kind of 3 to 4 Void Rays, you don't have your sentries a part of that force. You have 3 or 4, but not the 8 to 9 that Marsman had in previous engagements and previous games to make those things happen. So in the end, the surround was beautiful by Namshar, who was able to overpower it, and I know we didn't talk about it in the game, but he wasn't doing anything off the back of that. It wasn't like he was droning up or he was trying to get up to more upgrades. He was just making roaches, and when you only want to make roaches and you get to that maxed out, it's pretty darn scary to deal with, even with sentries, even with Void Rays.
Yeah, so it was. Yeah, so I'm kind of rewatching the delay off it, and it's just. Man, that fight was incredible, and I'm surprised it went the way it did. Like I said before, he just went up roaches. He calmly went roaches. He didn't go super defensive. He didn't put a bunch of spines down. He didn't put a bunch of spores down. He kind of knew where he was at. He didn't even put a Hydralisk down. He just, okay, I just need to keep defending. I'm on 3 bases. I need to keep defending. I'm on 3 bases, and it paid off. It worked out and paid off. And Marsman was forced to GG out because he knew that he's like, okay, I'm on 2 bases. I'm not gonna be able to finish this out.
Definitely kind of sucked right there, and what was nice is not only did Marsman say, okay, I don't have 3 bases, but Namshar tried to actually deny one of them with his Overlord creeping on up there. But guys, the next series, I believe, is going to be Seigifried, he kind of spells it weirdly, versus PandaBearMe. Seigifried, there's an extra I in there though, Hawkeye. Okay, it's Seigifried according to Hawkeye, but I would like to make fun of him anytime I cast him in qualifiers. Seigifried, but nope, it's going to be PandaBearMe versus Seigifried, another PVZ. This should be pretty exciting, as Draven has said he knows PandaBearMe pretty well, and I know Seigifried, so he should be able to provide maybe not the most quality insight, but the most quality hype and love of our respective players.